Thank you. You pull my lever. Happy Monday, everyone. So I voted earlier today, and this is a sticker that poll workers gave me. Very cute. Here in NYC, this is the sticker they're giving the Venezuelan gang members. Check it out. And down in Washington, they made a special sticker for President Biden. If you can see that, I voted today, and I'm dead. And it's nice to see that Doug Emhoff is supporting his wife Kamala with this voting sticker. I voted after nailing the nanny. How could you applaud that? But true, tomorrow is election day. It's the day I play my favorite game called Looking for a Poll Worker Under the Age of 90. But things look so good for Trump, Democrats have already impeached him. Meanwhile, our current president plans on voting, but only after he finishes his breakfast. Speaking of Doug Emhoff, he campaigned for his wife this weekend, saying Kamala did what she always does. Quote, she put her head down and went to work. And that's exactly what we need in the Oval Office, said one man. Little misdirection. The New York City Marathon took place yesterday. No surprise, of the more than 50,000 runners, half are still missing. Coldplay's Chris Martin fell through a trap door during a performance in Melbourne. More bad news, he's fine. Later this month, the McRib will return to select McDonald's restaurants. And that's the power of prayer, said one man. And a new handheld device may soon cure insomnia by turning off your mind. I think we have a picture of it here. All right. Why not? I'm off for 2 days, rip 'em. So one of the key differences between the left and right is one side's willingness to leave you alone. Sure, all politicians want power, but clearly one kind is more invasive than the other. So meet public enemy number one, Peanut the Squirrel. Apparently the most sinister rodent since Adam Schiff. Or he was, until the state of New York decided he had to go. His crimes seem to have been something to do with living indoors, unlike half of New York City. I guess if he had a tent and smoked meth, he'd still be with us. But last week, agents from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation unleashed a 5-hour raid on the home of Peanut's owner, Mark Longo, and took Peanut into custody. 5 hours. Probably took that long to put on the little handcuffs. But thanks to a full 10 agents prepared for heavy resistance, Peanut was apprehended with minimal injury. They must have spent the full 5 hours patting down his nuts. But for these brave agents of New York's environmental conservation, this was their bin Laden. Clearly, Peanut had to go, a rodent Nazi, a nutsy, if you will. Because in New York, they don't want squirrels taking your nuts, just the pediatricians. Now, Peanut had a co-conspirator, Fred the raccoon. Obviously a criminal because he was always wearing that mask. Fred was also removed in the raid and, like Peanut, executed. No trial, no jury, no due process, nothing. It's as if they were at the Capitol on January 6th. Maybe they were the ones who crapped on Pelosi's desk. Now, the state claims they had to euthanize both animals so that they could be tested for rabies after Peanut bit one of the officials. Yes, a bite that occurred during the raid, meaning the state claims they solved the problem that they themselves caused. They raided a house, antagonized a terrified squirrel, and when it bit them, put it down. Case closed. The city is now safe from one adorable rodent. As for the owner, he and his wife think someone ratted them out. Turns out they have an OnlyFans page where they post porn, and that page helped them rake in hundreds of thousands of dollars, which they used to buy their 350-acre property. Now, As a New York State resident, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the state's commitment to my safety. You know, I was starting to think that with all this crime and homelessness and migrant chaos, things were going in the wrong direction. But now, thank God, we're back to law and order, first with the squirrels. Now, the joke about priorities is obvious, but the process itself isn't. Big government, by its nature, only sees itself as growing bigger. And as it grows, so does its intrusiveness. But as they wish to control every aspect of your life, they forego the basics they were initially designed to cover: crime, sanitation, homelessness, only instead to focus on stupid like your pets, your lemonade stands, your pronouns. And why? Well, what is government made of? Bureaucrats, the robots who feather their nest by doing exactly what they're told. Think about it. Did anyone during this raid just stop at any point and say, hey, wait a minute, this is stupid. This is crazy. This is nuts. Or was the whole thing just on automatic? As the old saying goes, just following orders. You know, we worry about the non-conscious thinking of artificial intelligence. Once it starts, you can't stop it. But meter maids, civil servants, and state environmental control officers are already there. And they're worse. They're just following the Democrat policy with the power of judge, jury, and executioner. Fact is, most people are not political until politics enters their lives. You could be completely disinterested in the whole thing, and then the government shows up to tell you that your kid's gender is fungible and your pets are expendable. It's like parents who never gave about anything more than homework and soccer practice until COVID showed up. And then they attended a school board meeting and realized the maniacs are in charge. Maybe we ought to thank China for inventing a virus that acted more like smelling salts for us and woke the average citizen the up. Now, I'm not saying Peanut's death just flipped New York, but you want to red pill America? Raid their homes and murder their pets. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He looks so young, he gets fan mail from P. Diddy, host of The Guy Benson Show, Guy Benson. This Anglo-Saxon loves a good Brazilian waxing. Host of Piers Morgan Uncensored on Video, Piers Morgan. That's not a baby bump. She's just stuffing her shirt with stolen office supplies. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News chief contributor, got to. And his voting booth is an airplane hangar. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA with Tyrus, I'm going to you first because out of everybody here, probably in this studio, you own more pets?
No, I don't, Greg. That's not true.
Okay.
I don't own any animals, Greg.
Oh, okay.
No, you think I want these mother coming to my house? Around and find out. What? This bothered me on a personal level and on I don't understand. Their excuse was that Peanut bit them.
Yeah.
What did Fred do? Giggle?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is what these officials do. Now, I had a similar thing happen to me where a person tried to break into my house in the backyard, and I had cane corsos at the time. Mm-hmm. And my dog bit him on the ass for trying to get in my back window. Now, when he was discovered, my dog was hanging from his ass because he was a good boy.
Right.
He didn't finish him. He held him. They came in and took my dogs. I cooperated with them, and I said, please keep them two together. They've never been apart. They're like, no problem, no problem. I had to go to court to get my dogs, and the judge said they were just protecting their home. You can pick your dogs up. When I went to pick them up, they euthanized them because they tried to separate them, and the big one got aggressive. So this is not, unfortunately, this is not uncommon. Mm-hmm. The people that come in are power hungry. You raided their house looking for what? What the story about rabies, mm-hmm. A squirrel with rabies is not hard to figure out. Yeah. They got a little frothy mouth. Well, they look a lot like Hunter Biden when you have to crack. They're aggressive, and no owner would be holding them.
Right.
They don't do tricks. Yeah. So it's a terrible thing, and you know what? It did wake a lot of people up. And it could flip. So if you're on the ropes, if you're not sure, and you want to get on the right team, if you don't want to vote because Tyrus told you to, which you shouldn't anyways, or a celebrity, do it for Peanut and Fred.
Do it for Peanut and Fred! Do it for Peanut and Fred!
Their names will not go silently into the night.
Guy, this is a great moment where a lot of people who weren't thinking about government now realize how evil government can be.
Yeah, so two things. Number one, I was unaware until yesterday of this OnlyFans angle.
Yes.
From the squirrel's dad. So I'm a journalist, Greg, so I did look into it. And I can confirm that that is a thing. So I just wanted to make sure there was a fact check there. Secondly, with all respect to our resident libertarian, libertarians are often very annoying. However, they are often right about a lot of things. And I feel like the libertarian movement should almost like nominate like a dead squirrel as their next presidential nominee just to draw attention to what happened to Peanut, because it is the most cartoonish, disgusting abuse of government that shows all the wrong priorities, and it's so easy for people to understand. And if you're not going to mess with like anything in the country, or if you're going to mess with anything in the country, it ought not be pets and animals. People will lose their mind over that, and I think this is like a horrible story, but will focus people's minds.
Yeah, you know, Piers, you have squirrels in England.
We do.
They're black squirrels, aren't they?
We also used to have red squirrels before
Really?
they all got eradicated, yeah. Something about this story is just utterly disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like I was reading about it and thinking 10 people get sent by the government at a time when, as you say, New York is riddled with crime and homelessness and mayhem. And 10 of them can spend 5 hours of their day coming after a squirrel and a raccoon.
Yes.
And the rabies line, only one set of people, seems to me, were behaving like foaming at the mouth rabid animals. And it wasn't the raccoon and the squirrel. It was the people that had been sent by the government, foaming, furious, vengeful, murderous, to eradicate the scourge of this famous little squirrel and his raccoon mate. You almost, if you were making this up, it would be funny, but it's true. And this couple have lost their beloved pets. Remember why they took on this squirrel. Because I didn't know the story, and I looked into it. So the squirrel's mother died, and this guy saw this happen, and he took the little baby squirrel in, right? He took in the little baby squirrel. And then he has to have it wrenched away by his own government and murdered. It is disgusting.
Wow, Kat, this is becoming an incredibly powerful segment.
Yeah, I can't even think about Peanut because it makes me too upset.
Yeah, do you know that some people, like I have friends that could not talk about this?
It's a real, no, I have a feral animal lives in my house. It just happens to be a cat.
Yeah.
But it's found on the street, same thing.
Yeah.
But I really did like your larger point about how it's just people who just like, oh, the pet's the policy.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta follow the rules at the policy. It's not, this happens in government every single day. This is what government does, this is what it is. And libertarians are right a lot of the time for that reason. Happened to me this weekend at the airport. I was groped like ridiculously by the TSA because I'm on crutches, and so I'm on a wheelchair through the airport, and I couldn't, it's got metal, so I couldn't go through, so they had to grope me. And they're rubbing my stomach for like 30 seconds. I'm like, it's a baby, right? And then they are rubbing each of my legs, they're rubbing my butt like repeatedly, and I'm like, I said, you and I both know I'm not gonna do a terrorism here. I did say that. So then they brought the manager over. So then, but I looked at the manager, I said, he's like, you're keeping everybody safe. I'm like, you don't even believe that. But they kept saying to me, it's the policy.
It's the policy.
It's the policy that we need to touch your crotch as a pregnant woman with a broken hip. Like, it's the policy that we have to kill your pet that's loved you for 7 years. It's the policy. He shouldn't have been living inside. That's the biggest problem, that he was living inside. I mean, but the policy, these people don't think, and I don't like when, it's never been a good enough excuse for me, but that's the rules. Maybe your rules stupid. Maybe your rule's inhumane. Maybe your rule's hurting people. What do you have to say to that now? And they never have anything to say.
They don't, but this is a thing that comes up in society. It's like, I'm just doing, you find that when even in customer service, there are people that cannot go, like they just have to follow the path no matter how.
Nobody sees this and thinks.
It's also the big, powerful ego.
Yeah.
You know, because if I was standing in their backyard ripping their tree out, and the tenant would be like, yeah, that's the feral animal right there. Go get him. They're like, oh, we're going to have to call another guy for this. We're going to have to get another thing for that. But a little tiny squirrel, he bit me. I'm putting him down. They're so powerful. You know, it's like, the other thing is, Kat, by telling us that story, you probably just increased TSA jobs
it
by
can't get worse.
100,000.
Nobody's looking at a pregnant woman leaning over on one crutch while a lady rubs her ass and a man is watching and says, oh, this is necessary. This is okay.
I feel safe.
I saw that video, though, a few years ago.
Yes, I remember. You sent the etchings of it. Yes.
Yes.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.